What does it mean for the program once again to have a game that's on a national stage like this? Of course, the Army-Navy game every year is, but in the Notre Dame game, but to have a game on a Friday night when basically you're the only show in town.
I guess we've been kind of used to that, Scott. Just we got to win. You know, we're looking. I haven't really talked much about that. You know, we're just trying to play better. That's really more where our focus has been. You know, coach better, play better, and find a way to get a W.
What's the psyche of the team right now? Everyone saw the game and was able to watch the performance on Saturday. Now moving towards Tulsa for this week of practice for a team that's really faced a lot of adversity with a chance now to get a big win on the road.
Yeah, just I don't know. I think it's mixed. We just had our team meeting. Guys are disappointed, but also encouraged. Basically 3 top 25 teams, there been 1-score losses, but you still lose the game. You know what I mean? So you can play with the number 2 team. You can play with undefeated SMU. You can play with a 1-loss Houston team, but you still lose. And so those are the things we've looked at, just mistakes. How do we improve those? How do we coach better? How do we get where we don't make those mistakes when, the margin of error is, to win is really thin. So it's been mixed. Our guys are, down obviously from losing, but also encouraged, recognizing that, we literally, we could have played with anybody in our schedule, but also we can also lose to everybody. So
what does it mean for this offense to have developed what you're getting towards this passing game, the efficiency that you're starting to see now and the improvement? What does that mean for the offense?
Well, we just got to continue to improve in all phases. We got to continue to better in our protection, and try to be more efficient, like you said. But, we just got to continue to keep getting better, Scott.
Big plays, SMU, big play shut you down. I remember after that game, you're saying that kickoff return just killed you. Go to Memphis, similar story there. Didn't see any big plays giving up. It seems to me that Navy's a team that's finding its footing, especially if you look at your opening drives in the previous 2 games, and then, not giving up any big plays. What changed to make that happen?
Just, focusing on it. I think really the thing that we've got to focus on really more too is just no big special teams blunders against us. Those losses that the SMU, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Houston, we got a punt return, return back for a touchdown. And that blocked field goal last week was a huge point in the game. So those are the things, probably the biggest things, Graham. We just got to focus better on that. We got to kick the ball better on kickoff. We were trying to do some different things, and we didn't get the ball placed where we needed to. And some of our returns and punt, we did a good job kicking it, but then we had one line drive kick, which hurt us in our coverage. So just doing the basics, the fundamentals, kicking the ball where it's supposed to be, getting in your lanes on special teams, protecting on field goal. You turn a situation where you're, at the bare minimum, it's going to be tied going into halftime. Hopefully you're up 3, then you come out of that situation down 3. You know what I mean? So really that's been kind of my message to our team, is just we have to be more sound in the special teams. Again, not looking for a 90-yard kickoff return, even though Mikael Haywood had a really good return, or a 40-yard punt return or things like that, but just not giving up big plays on it. We had 2 penalties on special teams too, which hurt us too.
Yeah, when I look at Mikael Haywood, put up almost 100 yards on kickoff returns. He was not on the depth chart for Saturday, but is on the depth chart for the upcoming game on Tulsa. Is there anything you can tell me? Plus, it's a fairly young special teams. Can you tell me any more about young Haywood's development and how he's progressed from freshman to being on the depth chart?
Yeah, he's been returning kickoffs for a while now, a couple games.
Yeah, he was on the depth chart last week.
And so we have quite a few freshmen. Like on our kickoff return team, is basically all freshmen. We had quite a few freshmen. There's a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing on our team. You look at some of these teams, they got GRs next to it, seniors and GRs, and we don't have any GRs. At first, when I first thought, what is a GR? But, we don't have any, I was, oh, graduates. And so we got a young team. It's good to see those guys out there playing. We got to play better. Hopefully this experience will help us. But I've been impressed with him, Graham. He's done a really nice job in returning kickoffs, made good decisions, which the ball was behind him, which is really why the reason he was there. We want to make sure that when you got a chance to return it. If you don't, fair catch it, we'll take it on 25. And he's done a really good job, Graham. The kid's got a bright future as a return man and also as an A-back.
Quickie, you were mentioning, you were talking about the vibe a minute ago and, guys being down, but still being optimistic. I'm curious, how much do you talk about, mindset, and do you have to keep the guys up or are they pretty self-contained, self-motivated, self-understanding of the situation?
No, you do. You continue to keep talking to them. There's position meetings, there's O&D meetings. So the coordinators talk to them, the position coach talking to them. I talk to them before and after practice. On the road, when we go on the road, we have team meetings. You got to continue to build people up, but you also have to be honest too. You know what I mean, Kareem? It just, like I said, hey guys, this is on, told them at the beginning of the year, this was the hardest schedule since I've been here. There was a hardest schedule. But I also told him I really believe we had a chance to beat everybody, but everybody had a chance to beat us. And so now today, when my message is like, I remember I told you guys at the beginning of the season. And so now that we played, 3 of the teams were, our top 25 teams. Houston should definitely be, I know they're getting votes. And we definitely should have beaten all 3 of them. I had a chance to beat them, but we didn't. So why didn't we? You know what I mean? So it's hey, so to show you, hey, we can play with Cincinnati, we can play with SMU, we can play with Houston, but we still lost. And here are the reasons. And unless we get those rectified, and it's kind of what, Scott earlier in his question, we have to get those cleaned up, and that's our biggest thing. That's been our message. Just the reality is, yes, we can play with them, but the other reality is we still lost. So why is that? And try to get those rectified.
And I have one more. I wanted to ask about just kind of your thought process. You were talking about, hey, we had to be a little bit aggressive. We had to take some chances against them. I think that kind of showed up in some of those 4th downs and things like that. So I'm just curious about that decision-making process. How do you balance that, hey, we need to be aggressive and take some chances against some teams versus just taking it on 4th down and putting it away when you're at midfield? How do you make those decisions of when to kind of be aggressive and when you feel like, okay, here we'll just play the field position game?
Just really more that you go into the game with some plans, but a lot of it, Kareem, is gut feeling. And like I said, prior to this year, we had the most 1 possession wins in all of college football. So I've done a lot of practice with this, unfortunately, a lot of close games over the years. And so a lot of it's gut feeling, how we're playing, how we're moving the ball. Maybe there's a play that you feel good about that you can get. Maybe how good your team is, how good their team is. We went into the game knowing after our first score, we were going to surprise onside. And so we felt like we saw some stuff in our film evaluation that we had a chance for a surprise onside. And so those kind of things you have to make before and just say, okay, when we score, we're going to do it. Mm-hmm. Because if not, you'll never do it. Because I'm so conservative in that stuff. I probably would have said, no, I don't. Let's just kick it. So to answer your question, that one we made during the week. After the first score, we're going to surprise onside. But a lot of the 4th downs, Kareem, are, you can say analytics with it, but for me, it's really more gut feel, how the game was going. The 4th and 4 one in the second half, that one was hard. Normally I have a pretty strong feeling what to do. I went really back and forth on that, and probably a bad play call too. maybe going for it was not the wrong decision, but I wish I could have that back and have a better play call. You know what I mean? That was a poor play call, and that was a critical one because we were only down 3 there.
Mhm.
You know, so that was a huge one. But I just felt like we needed to get something out of that because I think we ran 12 plays to that point. You know what I mean? It was a long drive, and I didn't want to come out of there empty-handed. I just wish I had a better play and, you know, call for that. That one was hard. That was. I don't regret the going for it, but I regret my call.
Just curious. Appreciate it.
Ice cream.
Wags. Coach, let's talk a little bit about Tulsa. Obviously, this was a team that was in contention for the American Athletic Conference Championship last season. They've brought a lot of returning players. I think their notes said something like 10 all-conference players are returning. Thank you, Strauss. Yes, they played in the championship game. That's correct. What can you say about Tulsa and the challenge they present?
Well, they've had a tough schedule. You know, they played some tough guys, had some tough close losses early on. You know, they had a big win before their bye. But it's Tulsa. I mean, they played us really well last year on offense. You know, they shut us down. Our defense, I thought, played well against them last year. You know, our games against them have always been slugfest. I mean, they've always been pretty, you know, physical games in the years we've been in this conference. So, you know, got a lot of returners back, like you said. Their D-line, pretty much the same guys. But I think a big part of kind of where they're at right now in their season compared to last year is they had some heartbreaking losses early in the season, games they could have won. So kind of reflected on their schedule. You just look at it as a loss, but they had some close losses that they could have won. Good football team though. Always the same Wags, always physical. Philip Montgomery, you know what I mean, just try to mash you a little bit, and you know, they throw the ball well too. And defensively, not very sophisticated, but very sound, very physical, coached well, you know.
With regard to the defensive line, there's 2 guys that kind of stick out. The defensive end, Colin Smith, he's one of the nation leaders in tackles for loss. And then Jackson Player, the D tackle, and you're familiar with him. He's been around for a few years. But is that those 2 guys up front in particular a concern, Coach?
Yeah, they all are. You know, Steven, like you said, you know, Stevenson, you know, the nose guard's the big kid in the middle, but Jackson's given us trouble over the years. You know, he's not the tallest kid, but super explosive, super athletic. You know, he's plays really hard. But yeah, you know, Jackson, he's given us some issues over the years.
Well, and then offensively, I mean, you know, Colin Stokes is a receiver that's been around a while, and they've got another receiver who's actually having a better season than him because Stokes has been injured a little bit. Keelan Stokes, my fault. But obviously they beat Memphis. Memphis scored put 500 yards up on Tulsa and lost. So I would imagine this offense, you know, we say this every week with these offenses in this league, but another one, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right, Wags. Another explosive, high-powered offense. And, you know, we got to continue, you know, to keep doing what we're doing on defense, get people off the field. We got to continue to possess the ball. You know, last week, you know, we did a good job on defense, getting them off the ball. I think it was a combination too. We did a good job. We had the ball almost 40 minutes. You know what I mean? But we got to complete more drives. And so just, you know, that combination, getting people off the field, possessing the football and scoring. But yes, super explosive offense.
So with regard to that, I mean, you talked about you've got to finish, and obviously in this league, you probably got to get close up to 30 points. And this past week was a perfect example. You attempted 3 field goals. That means that was 21 possible points that you could have had if you scored touchdowns in those situations with those, you know, you win going away. What do you feel has to be done to start finishing with touchdowns more? Because probably that's the difference here for this team, I would imagine.
Yeah, we got to score. You know, you got to possess the ball and you got to score down there. You know, we got to execute when we get down in the red zone. We can't bog down, but, you know, a lot of it comes down to execution. We just got to find a way to finish and execute.
Well, and last for me, you kind of alluded to this earlier, but this team has 20 graduate players, guys who have graduated. They have something like 12 players that are either in their fifth or year or more. I think they have a couple that have been there 7 years. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe you could like having Malcolm Perry still playing for Navy. Or, you know, what if you could have brought back 20 of your last year's seniors? I mean, is it almost not a level playing field? We already talked about you can't take transfers, and every team in this league, every school in this league is taking buku transfers. Now you also are dealing, especially because of COVID, with 5th, 6th, 7th year players.
Well, you know, we talked about this already too. I mean, yes, it's the landscape of college football. I mean, Air Force had all of their turnback kids. I mean, their defensive guys, basically 2019 team. I mean, we'd love to, you know, could you imagine if we brought back guys, you know, from that team? You know, Army they have guys that they've stretched, you know what I mean? And so both, not only do the, you know, all of America does it, but the service academies do, but we're the only school that doesn't. And so it, you know, it's tough, you know what I mean? But it's obviously it's the cards we're dealt. But, you know, when you're playing against veteran guys and you got younger guys, I mean, it's hard. You know what I mean? We'd love to get guys back, but I take that back. You know, actually 2/3 of our team, a lot of our teams are graduates. So, but they graduate from the prep school, but we don't have any, we don't have any 7th year guys on there.
Coach, against a guy like Jackson Player, who you alluded to, you know, because of, you know, maybe being an inch or two shorter, how hard is it to win the leverage battle against a guy like that? And does that put the onus on your offensive line to be that much more precise in their blocking technique this week?
Yeah, our pad level's got to get down. Most of the time, you know, we're shorter than everybody, so our pad level helps us out. But, you know what I mean, he's a pretty compact kid, plays with great leverage. So, yes, you know, Pete, we got to play with great leverage, great technique, great hands, you know, tight hands, tight feet, with low pad levels to have a chance against him.
Are you had to alter the way the offensive linemen have worked? Because to teach pass blocking in an offense where you're running, you know, 85% of the time, the pass blocking this week maybe was as good as it's been all year against as good a front as you may face throughout the course of the season. They gave Tai some more time, cleaner lanes to throw the football. Can you expand on why the pass blocking has gotten better? And have you had to alter how much time you do that, because you know you have to have that as part of your offense?
Yeah, Pete, you know, we always have to have that part of the offense. Like you said, we can't get away from who we are, though, to have a chance to, if we threw the ball every down, I mean, it'd be tough on us, you know, for our team and for trying to play complementary football. But being able to throw on our terms has probably been the key. You know, if you can throw on our terms, if it's 3rd and long in those kind of situations, it's normally pretty tough for us, Pete. But being able to throw on our terms where, you know, there's still, you know, run, pass, you know, options involved, and they don't really know. I think we're decent pass protectors, but if guys get to, you know, pin their ear back and rush the passer, it's normally doesn't bode well for us. Really, for a lot of teams, but especially for us.
And is it also part of the fact that Ty's just been able to take all the snaps and get better? Because, I mean, even the little things like getting the shoulders turned and things like that just seems to be a much cleaner operation for him.
Yeah, and I think just, you know, sometimes you got to get rid of the ball. You know what I mean? So there's sometimes, I felt like, I mean, he didn't need sacks, but there's some times where, you know, he was under duress and he got rid of the football. But that's part of being a quarterback. You got to be able to look downfield and see your receivers and see the coverage and feel the pass rush, you know, not vice versa. If you're seeing the pass rush and feeling downfield, you won't throw the ball. So I feel like he's done a really good job of getting back, you know, setting up, going through his progression pretty quickly and getting rid of the football.
Coach, this is the second time this season. There'll be a quick turnaround. What'd you learn from the Memphis week experience that you want to do this time around?
Ooh, it's a great question. I learned we didn't play very well. So whatever I did, I got to try to change it, because that, you know, that game, Marshall and Air Force, we didn't play very well. Well, Air Force, we played well on defense. We didn't play well anywhere else. But we didn't play well. I guess we got off to a bad start. I thought we played well on offense that game, but probably one of our worst defensive games. We gave up a ton of big plays. And so the thing, we can't give up big plays on the road. It's just really demoralizing. Like the Memphis game, we have a 21-play drive, pretty much take out the whole first quarter, and then they come back with a quick score. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have to. We can't do that. We can't give up any deep, any big plays, just to keep our momentum in the game. But we got to play better. We don't play better. We haven't played well on Thursday nights, but I think we've been better on Friday nights. Is that true, Scott? I'm not sure, but I feel like we've been playing better on Friday nights. But so I learned that we got to play better than we did last time on Thursday night.
And last year you talked about how close you were with Coach Montgomery. I think you mentioned you're the closest with him of all the American athletic coaches. Just what's the relationship between you two like?
Well, just because we've been in the league the longest. So you go to all these meetings, you go to, we haven't been gone to them in a couple of years because of COVID, but you go to these all-day meetings. So you just get to know guys. You sit in a ballroom with them for all day and watching film, and you just get to know people. And I've gotten to know him and really like him. Just a really good person. We text in off season and stuff like that, but feels really good football coach, a good person. But I think the biggest part of it is because he and I are some of the original guys. A lot of guys have either left or been fired or whatever, but Coach Montgomery and I are two of more tenured guys in the league.
One of the topics we were just talking with Coach Niumatalolo about was finishing drives. And obviously y'all are averaging less than 20 points a game. And part of that is that you're getting into plus side of the field and not finishing. This past weekend was an example. You had 3 field goal attempts. That's potentially 21 points if you push those in for touchdowns. Can you talk about what needs to be done to you guys got to probably start scoring more points in these games because these teams are so explosive?
Yeah, I think a big thing for us is just not making mistakes, our own mistakes. A lot of times we get down there and kind of shoot ourselves in the foot. So moving forward, we definitely have to minimize those mistakes because that's what kills you in games that are close. And we just have to finish drives. Because we'd love to get 7 points, but we just haven't been doing it lately. So
I was going to ask you about some of the short passing concepts we saw on Saturday. The little crossing route to Kai, the slot back. I think there was another where he hit somebody on a short pattern, along the sideline. I like those. I like those concepts. Can you talk about, is that helpful to you to have a quick outlet that you can move the ball, in a different way?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It was something we put in. We had it, but just kind of brought it back. It was nice. It was a quick game, get out of my hand quick. So I didn't have to we didn't take time to sit back in the pocket trying to find something. So getting out in the perimeter, trying to let the guys make plays. And they did a good job up front, letting me protect me, give me enough time. And the wideouts and A-backs did a great job helping me out in the passing game.
So there was a Navy quarterback named Kaipa Noah Kayaku and Hadu, and Kai is going to challenge me with the same as he did. You know how to pronounce his last name?
Rojas.
There you go. That's perfect.
What can you say about him? He's emerging. Yeah,
I'm really happy for Kai. We went through naps together, went through last year together, and it's obviously it's pretty tough going through naps and plebe year when you're just running scout team. And he's worked his butt off. He came here as a quarterback, and at naps he got moved to A-back. And he's tried to embrace everything he can with it. And it's challenging because he's been doing great things for us. I'm really excited to see where that goes in the future with us.
So last for me, before I hand it off, how did you see those plays that occurred right at the end of the first half that backed you guys up and forced the long field goal? They, both times that tackle shot the gap and was able to get in there really quickly before you could even do anything. You were still backpedaling I don't know if you looked it on film. I'm sure you have, but what did you see? Just missed assignments there?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that they're good up front on the D line. I mean, that's what they do. They pass rush. So, I mean, I knew I was probably going to have to get out of my hand quick. And it was kind of like a shot or nothing. So, I mean, I should have thrown it out of bounds. It was kind of hard. It was not a lot of time back there, but I mean, wish we could get it back. But I guess we just have to go forward, move forward now, and just kind of learn from our mistakes. So,
what's the mindset of you and your teammates? Have you guys been talking since the last game, heading into this Tulsa game now as you get ready to prepare for them? You've been in games where you've played top teams in the country and you've been within a score, and now moving forward, the mindset of the team heading into Tulsa.
I think for everyone is just finishing. We still have games left to be played, and I mean, we all believe in ourselves on the team. We all believe in each other, and I think just the biggest part for us is finishing, knowing that when we play our football style of football, we can compete with anybody. And I think just having putting together 4 full quarters and not shooting ourselves in the foot is the biggest thing that we're trying to do moving forward.
And to do that moving forward on a national stage, Friday Night Football, the only game that's going to be on TV in that time slot across the nation, a chance to move forward and prove to the nation that you guys are a real deal.
Yeah, all of us, it sucks coming within a touchdown and not finishing the job. But at the same time, we know that if there's little plays here and there that we wish we could get back, but if we just keep playing how we've been playing but just minimizing mistakes, then we know we can do something special.
And I've seen a lot of that in the passing game in recent weeks. What's been the key for the improvement in the passing game?
I think the line has done a great job, like helping me up front, giving me time to throw the ball. The A-backs and the wideouts have been making great plays for me, making it easier on me. I think kind of just seeing it easier too. It's been easier kind of seeing it, and the concepts that Coach Ken and Coach Jasper put in have made it easier on me to be able to see how the defense is playing and where to throw it. So, it's been a team effort. Everyone's been doing a great job and made my job pretty easy.
And do you see a big difference once you start clicking on the passing game in the game when you come up to the line of scrimmage as things evolve, when the team knows that you've got that potential to throw one out there and make a big play on it?
Yeah, I think it slows them down a little bit in the secondary because they can't be so fast to the pitch. They have to respect that we can throw it, we can go in the air too. So, it definitely helps out keeping them a little slower in the secondary. So
this past week, I'm pretty sure you were 11 for 15. Haven't seen you go to the air that much. Before Navy, though, I think you threw the ball a fair bit. Talk to me about the contrast between sticking to the ground or going to the air. How was it to, get 15 opportunities to make a passing play?
It was awesome. That's all I really did in high school. And then when I came to triple, obviously I knew it was going to be less passing attempts, but it's always been, it doesn't really matter how many times you pass, you kind of got to make the most when you do pass it. We threw it more opportunities. It was shorter routes and stuff too. Kind of just keep them on their toes. Definitely wish I could get the pick back when I threw that one. Trying to fit it in there, and it didn't. Threw it behind him. But it was awesome being able to throw it again. I think it kind of helped us on the run game too, being able to execute on the perimeter and stuff. So it was cool.
Yeah, well, a lot of it comes down to live reps, right? So is the lesson from that pick? Is there a lesson from that pick, or did that just happen to be a pass that was just a little bit too far behind?
No, there's a lesson in everything, I think. I definitely wish I could have either thrown it outside more or thrown it earlier. The play before, I probably could have sat in the pocket a little longer, got back, and hit mark on one of our routes. There's always something to pick to or find that I could have done better, but yeah, definitely live reps helps too, though.
All right, terrific. Tai, thank you.
Thank you.
Kareem Copeland.
Hey, Ty. Quickie, obviously the operation is made a lot of strides from earlier in the season. I'm curious, what do you like most about what you guys are doing now? What steps forward have you taken that you're like, yeah, I really like how this is moving now compared to earlier in the season?
Honestly, I don't really think anything has really changed for us. I mean, we're going to run our offense, and it's really just about executing it. We've really done the same stuff we've always done. I think I think we've got more confident in ourselves as time goes on, knowing that if we do what we need to do, we execute, that we can play with anyone. I think up front, we've done a great job. Perimeter, we've done a great job. And we've been able to get a lot of, like, most of the aspects of our triple option into the game. So I think it's helped us out a lot.
And also, you were talking about mindset a little bit earlier, and I wanted to ask, it would be real easy to kind of get frustrated when, hey, yeah, you guys are hanging with teams, but not quite able to kind of get over that hill. And Ken said, there's been disappointment, but also optimism, knowing that you guys are close. I'm curious, how do you stay on the positive side of that and not let those frustrations in? Is it just from seeing how close you guys are, or could you kind of explain that a little bit for us?
Yeah, I think when we go back and watch it on film, there's little plays here and there that really can make a big difference in the game. And it's really never been on the defensive side of the ball that they've done to us. It's really been us missing assignments. So it's really just like when we look back at it and see what we did wrong, it's like we're hopeful because we know that if we eliminate those mistakes, shooting ourselves in the foot, that we're scoring on most of the drives that we get stalled out at. So I think we just know that if we capitalize on turnovers that the defense gives us and, play our way we can play, then we'll be in good shape.
Cool. Quick and easy for me. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Great. Pete Medhurst.
Tai, this week, what's the most important thing? Recovery physically or dialing in mentally? Make sure you've got control of the game plan with a short week.
I'll just say treat every practice like it's a game. That's what Coach Jasper always tells us. Take every rep as if it were a real rep. It's a quick week, but at the same time, I feel like it's just like any other week. We have to prepare the same exact way. So I think for me, it's just going to be the same as it always is. Just prepare like we're about to play. So
since coming back from the injury, you've been able to, knock on wood, stay healthy, play, and with repetitions, you get better. How much different are you than the guy that came back from injury to where you are even right now, because you've been able to get into a flow and at least find a little bit of a rhythm here?
Yeah, I definitely feel a lot more comfortable. Triple option is definitely something that you need live reps to get a feel for and get comfortable in it. And everyone on the O-line, A-backs, everyone has been helping me out. It's made it a lot easier for me being able to see how effective we are in the run game. They've been doing most of the work, so it's definitely made me a lot more comfortable than when I first started against Marshall. I definitely feel more relaxed out there. So
it's the toughest part to have to learn about this offense.
I would say just knowing what plays are best against what defenses, understanding when to get out of what certain play and when to get into a certain play against a certain defense. I think that's probably the biggest part of our offense.
Appreciate you. We'll see you Friday.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Phil Bergman.
Hi, just to set the stage for the game, just being back under the lights, Friday night lights, just what's that moment going to be like for you?
I think it'll be cool, but it's just going to be like any other game. It's never really try to make any game different than any other one. I feel like if you make it too big or too small, you won't be able to play how you normally do. So.
And then I want to learn a little bit more about Umbarger. You guys go back to naps together. Just what do you see out of him? What's he like as a player?
Yeah, Jay's a really hard worker. He came in, same thing. He was a quarterback, got moved to receiver, and he didn't hesitate one bit to try to be the best receiver we could have. He's working like he wants to be the best. He's working all the time, and it shows. He's dealing with injuries, but he's playing through it. And he's definitely become a really good person to throw to.
I mean, how is it for the players in a short week when you're playing either Thursday or Friday night? Is it a compressed schedule? Does it make it tougher or no? Or you just kind of adjust?
I think we all just adjust. It's kind of something we kind of learn here at the academy. Just go with whatever they throw at you. But I know I'm excited to play again. It always sucks losing. So, I mean, it's one day closer to being able to get that taste out of our mouth.
And then in terms of like what Pete was just saying, are you feeling more and more comfortable at the helm behind the, operating the offense with each passing game?
Yeah, I think I am. I mean, I feel I feel like I'm back in high school, just like the comfort level I'm at, like, because I'm now more experienced. It definitely feels like everything's slowing down a little bit.